The year is 1840. In the gaslit streets of London, a story begins to unfold, not all at once, but in small, tantalizing weekly portions. This story, penned by the already celebrated but soon-to-be legendary Charles Dickens, would grip the hearts of a nation and echo across the Atlantic. It was a tale that emerged from the pages of a periodical called Master Humphrey's Clock, and soon its central characters became as real to its readers as their own neighbours. The narrative became a public obsession, a shared experience that blurred the line between fiction and the emotional life of an entire society. From the drawing rooms of the wealthy to the humble hearths of the poor waited with bated breath for each new chapter. This is the old Curiosity Shop, one of the stories that made readers in the 1840s openly weep. Its power was immediate and profound, a cultural phenomenon unlike many before it. The serialization format was a stroke of genius, turning reading into a communal, suspenseful ritual. Each week, families and friends would gather to discover the latest turns in the fate of its young heroine. The story's grip was so tight that it traveled with the tall ships sailing to America. There, on the docks of New York, crowds would gather as vessels from England approached, their voices carrying a single, desperate question: does little Nell live? This simple, heartfelt plea reveals the extraordinary connection people felt to a girl who existed only on the printed page. The story itself is small but powerful, a journey both physical and deeply emotional, a chronicle of flight, of pursuit, and of the quiet endurance of a child against the overwhelming forces of a harsh and often indifferent world. Dickens, with his command of character and atmosphere, created a world fantastical yet chillingly real. A picture of early Victorian England rich with detail, the cluttered gloom of a London shop and the sprawling, unpredictable landscapes of the countryside. It became a mirror reflecting the anxieties and compassion of an age grappling with immense social change. He did not merely wish to entertain, he meant to awaken the conscience of a world. At the heart of the story, nestled within the teeming city, sits the shop that gives the novel its name. Classic illustration, the interior with little Nell and her grandfather. Not a grand establishment, but a small, dusky, labyrinthine place, a repository of the forgotten, a jumble of oddities, suits of armor, old clocks that have long ceased to mark the time, dusty musical instruments, chipped porcelain figures, and peculiar toys that seem to watch from the shadows. The shop itself is a character, a microcosm of history and memory, a cloistered world standing in defiance of the noisy modern city. Within this sanctuary live a young girl and her grandfather, an old proprietor, his life as cluttered with sorrows as the shop is with treasures. His love for his granddaughter is the guiding star of his existence. He is her guardian, her protector, her companion. They live a quiet life, sheltered from the harsh world outside. But the old man is haunted by a fatal flaw, a secret weakness that casts a long shadow. He is a gambler. Driven by a misguided desire to secure Nell's future, he steals away at night to play cards. He is convinced he can win a fortune, leave more than a dusty shop of trinkets. Yet, his luck is poor and his judgment clouded. With each game, he sinks further into debt, borrowing from a man who embodies malevolence. He conceals the truth, trying to shield her from danger. He does not tell her of the money he owes or the peril they face. She senses darkness gathering at the edges of their quiet life. The shop begins to feel like a cage, its objects silent witnesses to his desperation. The growing danger has a name and a face: Daniel Quilp. Quilp is a moneylender, a predator who thrives on desperation. He is grotesque, vindictive, gleefully cruel, reveling in his own wickedness. The grandfather's pact becomes a deal with the devil. Quilp exploits the old man's love for Nell with surgical cruelty, toying with him, dangling ruin. As debts mount, Quilp's power grows, until he effectively owns them. He is the spectre that falls over the old Curiosity Shop. When Quilp's threats turn to seizure, The old man and little Nell make a desperate choice. Under cover of darkness, they abandon all they have known, leaving relics and strange treasures, and flee into the vast unknown expanse of England. Mostly on foot, slow, painful progress through a land both beautiful and brutal. Dusty roads, winding lanes, bustling market towns, desolate industrial landscapes. Dickens paints a panoramic portrait of the nation, the countryside's beauty and the grim reality of poverty and labor. They meet kindness and suspicion. They pass fairs where puppet shows bring fleeting wonder, smoke-belching factories, grim workhouses. They rest in humble cottages, barns, and sometimes under the cold, starry sky. For Nell, the journey is a constant struggle to protect her grandfather, a flight from danger, a search for peace, a secular pilgrimage toward an ever-receding sanctuary. Nell Trent, known simply as Little Nell, stands among Dickens's most iconic and heart-rending creations. Gentle, kind, painfully good, quiet, thoughtful, unnaturally mature. Her kindness radiates in a steady, unwavering light. She is patient, brave, and possessed of a deep empathy far beyond her years. She keeps their topsy-turvy world in gentle order. Her love is absolute and unquestioning. She cannot fathom the nocturnal absences that trouble their nights. Little Nell is not just a character, she is a symbol. The inherent goodness and vulnerability of childhood, a fragile flame flickering in cold winds. She is lonely, surrounded by objects rather than friends. She senses a threat she cannot name. A child forced to carry an adult's burden, protecting the very person who should protect her. Her patience is almost saintly, and her quiet endurance is her bravery. Her purity is her strength, and her most profound vulnerability. A fragile light in a world that too often looks away. Back in London, not everyone has forgotten them. Friends and allies embark on a desperate search. Fred, Dick Swiveller, the single gentleman. Their search is a race against time, before Quilp can reach them, before the road consumes them. They follow faint clues and chase false leads, piecing fragments from letters and lore, and the testimony of those who glimpsed the wanderers. Sometimes they are tantalizingly close, only to find Nell and her grandfather have just departed. At other times, the trail goes cold. The immense emotional power of the old curiosity shop was magnified by its publication, not as a complete volume, but in 88 weekly installments, April 1840 to February 1841, in Master Humphrey's clock. Reading became a prolonged public event. Each installment cost a penny, eagerly awaited and often read aloud, in homes, pubs, on street corners. The weekly rhythm created suspense and immediacy. Trials and hopes were shared incrementally, week after week. Dickens could end on a cliffhanger, ensuring desperate anticipation for the next part. A master of the form, he sensed his audience and shaped momentum. He painted vivid, lingering details. The dingy room, the creak of wheels, the chill of winter. The model made literature widely accessible and communal. Soon it became a transatlantic event, uniting readers in a shared emotional journey. Serialization was not mere marketing. It shaped how the story was received and remembered. A nation in tears, week by week. As the installments drew toward their conclusion, public feeling reached a fever pitch. The fate of Little Nell became a matter of national concern. Readers wrote to Dickens, pleading for mercy. When the final chapters appeared, the reaction was overwhelming. They chronicle Nell's decline, leaving readers devastated. Strong men were said to have wept openly. Lord Jeffrey sobbed over the pages. Daniel O'Connell cried, he should not have killed her. This raw public emotion showed Dickens' profound bond with readers. The grief was collective, not only for a character but for a harsh world and lost innocence. Some modern critics find the sentiment excessive, but in the 1840s, sentiment was a respected tool for social conscience. The tears for Nell were also for thousands of children facing poverty, neglect, exploitation. A heartbreaking, morally charged ending, one that felt like a death in the family. Beyond its immediate sorrow, the novel is rich with enduring themes. It is a profound exploration of childhood vulnerability. Who protects the children? A stark indictment of a society where innocence cannot shield a child from greed, cruelty, and negligence. Greed's corruption is personified in Daniel Quilp and mirrored in the grandfather's ruinous compulsion. Debt and speculation become engines of tragedy. The law appears impersonal, favoring the strong over the weak. True morality here lies not in contracts, but in mercy and compassion, a fundamental human duty to care for one another. More than 180 years on, the book remains moving and significant. Times change, its questions endure. We may not have debtors' prisons, but poverty, debt, and exploitation persist. Nell's purity gives the story moral force, a clear light against darkness. It asks us to feel deeply, to face suffering, and to consider our responsibility. The Old Curiosity Shop is pity, obsession, tenderness, greed, decay, devotion, and loss. Read it and decide for yourself.